franchise record and ties the Beltran mark. 5 consecutive games for Murphy with a home run.
Well, and he deserves it, because this kid has really worked his way around to become the kind of player he is, and doing it now during the postseason in his free agency year, I think it's so important for him. I'm very happy for him, and I hope he gets signed with the Mets as soon as possible.
Well, the Cubs, they've got thump as well. We talked about in the pregame, Jeff, that percentage of runs they get from the homers. Soler gave them one to get back tied in this game.
Yeah, now we got a real ball game going now. You know, the Mets jumped out ahead. Cubs showing fight to come back. But, you know, once he settles down, like we said, DeGrom settles down, it was going to be trouble, and that's what happened.
And that was nice hitting right there by Cespedes.
And the difference was, guys, DeGrom's still in the game. Meanwhile, Joe's got to work in his bullpen. Here's Cahill, a sacrifice bunt by Lucas Duda. He was trying to beat the shift, but we'll take it.
That's
First sacrifice since August of 2011. And, Shep, you said watching this inning, this is good baseball, and you guys both talked about manufacturing runs. Here it was.
Yeah, before that, on the bunt, you saw the catcher go to third base, which should have happened the other day. Now, all of a sudden, good plays was happening. Lucas Duda was moving the runner over. He did the small things, playing real baseball. And after that, then you see the run driven in.
And he steals third base. And this guy right here, Montero, blocked about 7 balls in the dirt, but he couldn't block that one. And Cespedes was ready to run every pitch.
Yes.
Gave the Mets a 3-2 lead, and then Wilmer Flores to the outfield. And Soler misplays it into a ground rule double. You know about these confines, Dusty, and this is the rule with that Ivy.
I certainly do. And, you know, you would think the guy would automatically, you know, have to score on that. But you throw your hands up in the outfield. If you go in and get the ball, they say the ball's live. If you throw your hands up, boom, he's right there.
Yeah, but what happens if, Dusty, you know, when that ball hit and it passed him, which he shouldn't have done anyway with the pitcher on deck.
Correct.
The umpire got to look at it and say, okay, he's going to score anyway, and this guy is going to wind up on third base.
Yeah, that's not the rules.
We go to the 7th inning. Justin Grimm on the mound, and Pedro La Potencia comes through.
Well, La Potencia predicted that he was going to have a pretty good night, not because of the way he went about his business late in the game, but early, because I thought it was going to be a pretty good matchup against Hendricks.
Schwarber not able to make the play. You look at it again, Dusty. Tough play, but makeable for a guy who normally would play outfield,
Correct,
right?
But that's a tough play. I mean, this young man is new to the outfield, and that's a tough play.
Yeah, for an outfielder, line drive is the hardest play in baseball.
That's right.
Duda ends up grounding to first. Should he have touched first before throwing home or gone for the run?
I think he should have stopped that run first.
Well, you go get the run first, because you're already behind. You got to try to save that run from scoring. Forget the guy on first base.
Familia gets what he needs, the lead. That's all he needs, because this is a guy who's been terrific throughout the course so far here in the postseason. The Mets felt like they had enough, they did, and they end up winning this game by a score of 5-2. Daniel Murphy happy, the Cubs fans dejected, down 0-3 in the series. Two guys on this set know a thing or two about what takes place after that, or at least can. Try and make the Cubs fans feel a little bit better as we move on here, but you take a look at the notes. Yoenis Cespedes, 3 big hits. David Wright as well had 3 hits, and Daniel Murphy continues to play great baseball. So, always positive. Will he still be that? Here's Joe Madden after the loss.
Back to John, then it moves back to Jake, and you kind of like those kind of things. So we're going to start Jason tomorrow, and we'll, just like you saw today, if you have to go to the bullpen early, we'll do that. We actually did a pretty good job. There was 2 pertinent plays there. The slow roller to KB had a lot of spin on it that Murphy beat out, and then the play off the glove of Schwarber. Not easy plays. I'm not denigrating the defense at all. Tough plays. And that put those 2 extra runs on the board that made it a little bit more difficult. So, again, another close game. We have to score more runs, and they played exceptionally well.
And towards the left in the center.
Joe, I know they tacked on a couple of runs after, but Cespedes steals third base. Talk about how big that was, and then the kind of sequence after that.
Yeah, that was our fault. He, we permitted him to do that. That was a very big play right there. In general, they've played well. They've played really well. They've done little things well, and they've taken advantage of us in different moments. And we've not been able to overcome that because we're not hitting the ball like we normally can. So you see that, and again, at this time of the year, everything does magnify a bit. And so, yeah, it was a big play on their part. Like I said, beyond that, just to keep the game in check, the wild pitch, pass ball, whatever, wild pitch probably on a strike 3, that's a run. A ball off Schwarber's glove, that's another one, but was contributed with the slow roller to third. All these things that really become very important. Chopper to first base. piece of throw at the plate, good base running on their part, Murphy's part. So, again, it's a really closely contested game. They had the edge regarding some of the little things that they did. We have to come back tomorrow and bring it back to us.
And over here to the left.
Joe, you mentioned the wild
another
pitch.
thing that happened in this game, and you hear Joe Madden talk about little things, is you have to sometimes get that door to open, and that great word in the English language, Pedro, opportunity knocks. You better knock on through. And when you have to Grom on the ropes early, we've seen this before, Pete, if you don't get him then, you're not going to get him.
I'll tell you what, it's not because the Chicago Cubs did not try to get him. They tried, but this kid battled his way around the lineup, and they let him escape the hook and in the first 2 innings. I think he got away with the first 2 innings, and then after that the Mets started getting contributions from Cespedes and Wright, something that they weren't getting earlier in the postseason. So now it looks relatively easy when you see those guys pitching the way they can and getting contributions from guys like Cespedes, Duda, and Wright, guys that weren't producing as much. The game seems a lot easier to the Mets.
I thought he found the pine tar.
The moisture?
He found the moisture.
Or he wanted to his soul glow?
Yeah, and his Jerry curl got a little slick.
Maybe he went to
He
a
don't
Jerry curl.
have no Jerry curl. Come on now.
I'll tell you what, though. I did not see him throw a good changeup tonight. What got him out of the hook was that breaking ball. He realized he had that breaking ball and started flipping it over for strike one and getting ahead of the hitters. And then the fastball just got better.
But I told you the breaking ball, and you said, "Oh, the fastball and changeup tonight." Remember that?
No, I said the elements were not good for changeups because it's fly balls.
Yeah.
It's a field pitch, and today was really dry. That's why I keep doing that with the ball.
You've been doing that all game.
Well, because I don't have the Jerry curl. I can't go to the Jerry curl.
I think you took a little activator down there and gave it to him.
and he's still got the baseball. You know, we saw a lot of interesting plays in this game and a lot of decisions. Let's talk about and go back to that play in the 6th inning. Because even though it didn't become a big factor, this is something to discuss. You have to know the park that you're playing in.
Right.
Is this even fair that you get a situation where a guy easily could have scored, Dusty, and Fowler can just throw his arms up and say, hey, look, let's play the rules of the park?
Well, I think it should be at the discretion of the umpire, to tell you the truth. If you think he'd have scored, here's a guy laying on the ground, center field's running way over to right field, and you tell me this guy couldn't have scored. He
could have walked home.
He could have walked home. But see, that's the rules. You go over the ground rules before the game starts, and they say if a ball gets in the ivy, throw up your hands. But if you go in and try to get it, it's still a live ball.
He got lucky on that play because
yes, he did.
Not only that he dove and missed the ball with the pitcher on deck, it happened to stay in the ivy.
Yeah.
So he got lucky right there.
Because see, I've been there when you go in the ivy and 2 or 3 balls come out.
It pop out. Yes.
Hats off to Fowler to realize what was going on and the rules that they have in his own stadium.
In his own park.
He knew it and he anticipated to that. As soon as he saw it go, lift up his arm.
But you know when you got a veteran manager, you go over that before every game.
That's right.
You remind guys what take place. If the ball goes and stay in that ivory, put them hands straight up. That way the umpire have to make a decision.
You know, the irony is we saw that not become a big factor tonight.
But it could have been.
It could have been, and my point is later in the show when we get into the comeback that we've once seen, we were talking about earlier today, I was covering that game.
I got to deal with that.
I remember the Ruben Sierra ground rule double still like it was yesterday and what a big factor that could have made in that game. We'll get to that later. Let's start with the factor in this series, and that's been Daniel Murphy. We're talking about a guy now, 6 home runs, guys, in the postseason, 5 straight games. You noticed something a couple of days ago on how he was taking pitches and talked to him about it yesterday. Let's take a look again because tonight it set up the home run. Explain why here in the video, Chef. What'd you see?
Well, if you watch him hit, he got his foundation, and when the ball passed, he moved the left leg forward. Now he's gauged the pitcher and got the timing, and he can say, okay, now I know where to ambush him. And after every time he does it, the next pitch, same location, and you see the results. This kid has studied the game he know these pitchers, and he just ambushed.
Man, what a stroke.
And he is as locked in as we've seen, obviously, a guy be. And again, franchise record, Piazza played 20-something games, had 5. Murphy's been in 8 games and has 6. Now, not everybody is hot. On the Cubs side, we've had a couple of hitters that have struggled, and one is Javier Baez. Now, show us kind of the antithesis of what we see with Murphy. What are you noticing? And Baez is still a youngster, sitting there in the 9-hole tonight. What did you notice with him at the plate?
Well, like we talked about before, you know, me and Dusty, we was talking about your foundation. You got to look at a hitter bottom half first, then work your way up. With this kid, he's a powerful kid. You watch him in batting practice, he hit the ball to a mile. You look at his right foot and you look at his left foot. They're both off the ground. Now you're a toe hitter. You're a toe to heel hitter. So that means your balance is off. You don't have a foundation where the center of gravity of his body can take over. Now you look at his left leg. He's off balance. Look at his right foot. You can see the bottom of his shoe. You cannot hit like that, because every time you go to approach the pitch, it's going to make you leak and then make you go forward, or when they bust you in, you can't get your hands through. And that's what's going on with this kid.
He's moving both feet at the same time.
But he's hitting against gravity.
Right.
When you're swinging up and when you're doing that, you're hitting against gravity. You get your hands up and swing down on that ball.
Go ahead, Chef.
You think he knows a thing or two about hitting?
Oh, man, that's Professor Chef. Einstein Chef. Go ahead, man.
I want him to stop, because I'd like to be here with him next year and not have him get not that he wants to take a job. But Pete, you often talk about, when we watch the games together, noticing the body language of hitters. And you talk about, hey, look, I could see a hitter and know how to pitch him. How conscious now is a Mets coming out tomorrow and the Mets pitching staff in general, because not just Baez, Bryant, really everybody outside of Schwarber, we've seen over anxious. Now down 0-3, we might get that and then some. How much as a pitcher do you use that to your advantage?
Well, I used exactly what DeGrom was able to do, especially after the second inning. And it's not strange to anybody the fact that DeGrom was able to make the adjustment. We saw Harvey make the adjustment. We saw Thor make the adjustment. Everybody figured something out about this team. And Matt, if he's able to throw as hard as these guys and spot the fastball where these guys have been spotting the fastball, especially today, we saw it after the second inning. DeGrom went low and away on Bryant and just blew it by Baez. The only one that gave him a tough at bat, and I think he's going to give it to everybody, was Soler. Soler, every time I've seen him take one at bat this postseason, has looked good to me. I think this kid needs to play righty or lefty. They need to keep him in that lineup.
And he doesn't swing at bad pitches for a young kid. He doesn't chase much. But I'd like to give the the pitching coach of the Mets,
Dan Worthen.
Some credit, because these young guys aren't making these adjustments on their own. Somebody's talking to them in between innings, between Darno and Dan Worthen. Somebody is directing these guys to the ball.
Let's look at this though. If you look at this crowd, the crowd when we first walked in, it was negative energy. It wasn't a lot of energy going on. Players sensed that, and you could see the way they played. They didn't have a lot of energy.
Well, now I hope they have a lot of umbrellas. And I mean a lot of umbrellas. I hope we have some umbrellas, do we?
Yeah, we got some.
I know you got some. We don't want to affect that tie. All right, here we go. The voting for the Who's Your Daddy poll. Murphy, #right, #Cespedes, #DeGrom. Let us know who your vote goes for. We'll get that later in the night. A look at 0-3 in a series and how it's done from my 2 on my left. But we'll also get into the American League Championship Series, where the Kansas City Royals put a hurtin' on the knuckleball today. A historic run and a position player pitching for the first time in a postseason. Don't move.
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
Hold the phone, because AT&T and DirecTV are now one, which means you can access your DVR at the DMV. Change channels while he changes pants. You don't have to be a couch potato. You can be a train potato and let them watch all the shows they love inside the ride that you really kind of hate. Introducing the all-in-one plan, only from DirecTV and AT&T.
My name is Martin Oden. I'm a covert operative in the FBI. You will not silence me.
College basketball's grandest stage awaits.
The championship game. We'll have it on TBS. The moments they talk about for a lifetime.
The Postseason Show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
So far in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs?
No, I haven't. I've watched a lot of baseball over the years. I don't think I've seen anybody put on this kind of a show on this stage like he has so far. I mean, even the guys in the dugout, I mean, they're baseball guys too, and they're saying the same thing. There's, the question is, who is this guy? I mean, he's been unbelievable. So hopefully he just keeps it up for certainly a few more games.
And over here to the left in the center.
Ironically, the American League continues their championship series in game number 5. That is coming up tomorrow. You can get it at 4 o'clock Eastern time on FS1. But what is the series status? Let's get to that. Royals and Jays. R.A. Dickey on the hill. The knuckleball. How would it play out? Remember Darno? Remember Syndergaard? That's the trade. Well, here, Josh Donaldson makes a rare mistake, and Escobar's in business. And we talked about this. You saw him a ton in Tampa. That Zobrist, perfect 2-hitter.
Yeah, he's the perfect number 2 hitter. This guy ambush you in a minute. If you get that ball up, he can hook it.
And he came over the top on it.
Yes, he did.
Made the score 2-0 with a home run. That's the second straight game, guys. Within 2 batters, they've scored a run. Later in the inning, a pass ball past Russell Martin. Lorenzo Cain slides in home and is safe. The Blue Jays would challenge, but it ends up being upheld. The Royals get a 4th run, and it's 4-0. We go to the second, and Alex Rios gets a hold of one, Dusty.
Well, he got a hold of one that stayed up. It didn't do anything. The ball just sat right there on the tee, and he lost it over the fence.
Dickey, 1 2/3, 4 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, only 1 strikeout, 2 home runs allowed, 5-0 to score. We go to the 7th, and Lorenzo Cain continues to get it done. Pedro, these guys just don't stop hitting at the top of this lineup with the Royals.
Well, they're all Kansas City team. It just never gives up. But this is a team that's battling out after out, hit after hit in any aspect of the game. That's what makes them special.
Lorenzo Cain is a ball player, my brother.
Yes, he is.
Cain and Hosmer, and we've seen Escobar, and now Zobrist added another tough AB to the mix. 14-2 was the final. Cliff Pennington got into this game as a pitcher. First position player to officially make an appearance on the mound during a postseason game. That's when you know it's going bad. 14-2 the final. Here in this one, we get a chance to hear from Ned Yost about being up 3-1.
I felt great going into this game. One, because we had Chris Young on the mound, and I figured he'd give us a really, really good performance. But we feel good. We like, the way we're playing right now.
We did a good job as a team, collectively. Defensively, we played well. Offensively, we played even better. So that's you can't ask for anything better.
And our bullpen's primed to go tomorrow, too. So we didn't have to use Wade. We've got Danny Duffy if we need him for multiple innings tomorrow. Kelvin and Matson, had short stints today, so they'll be ready to go tomorrow, and so will Hoach. So we're in really good shape.
It happened really quickly. This is like my 103rd start for the Blue Jays. That's the first time I've gone that short. So it was the anomaly for sure.
Maybe we made history today. I don't know, in a big game like that, a position player pitches. But yeah, we were trying to stay away from him. We figured, at least maybe Tepera can give us a couple innings, maybe run the game right there anyway. And he had a tough time.
Just say to Rush when he got out there and had the conversation with the catcher.
I told him what pitches I had. He hadn't caught me before, so I had to tell him what I had, and then go to work after that.
Yeah, that was ugly today. No doubt about that. That's all I can say.
When you guys went down 2-0 to Texas, you said that you told the guys all we got to do is win 11 in a row. Does this feel any different?
It's the same situation. Back's against the wall. Win or go home. And I keep telling them I don't want to go home yet.
Well, based on what we saw, the players certainly seem a lot looser guys than the fans do, but the offenses have been aplenty. We all thought Sheffield would be all the Blue Jays. Not the case. The Royals offense breaks out.
Yeah, R.A. Dickey, today, his breaking ball, which is it's supposed to be down low. When you're throwing a knuckleball, it's supposed to be low. All it becomes now is a breaking ball. When you get that ball up, it's just a curveball. And then to me, he wasn't throwing hard enough. You got to throw that knuckleball with some velocity on it where it can move. Today, it wasn't moving that much. It was elevated, and guys had that uppercut swing. That's how you hit a knuckleball, and he paid for it today.
Well, I tell you, no team in baseball can back-to-back hits like the Kansas City Royals.
Nobody can do it.
Nobody, because usually there's a strikeout in there somewhere, a double play or a home run. Those guys can base hit you to death, and something you keep the line moving.
Pesky, right, Pedro?
Very pesky. But if I was the Toronto Blue Jays, I wouldn't be as loose, because this is happening at home, where the Toronto Blue Jays are known to do damage. Now the Kansas City Royals come over, and I'll slug you, I'll pitch you, and I'll play you in your own house. And not only I'll play you, they in a big way. They were pouring on the Toronto Blue Jays, which is something the Toronto Blue Jays are accustomed to doing to the other teams coming in. This is a scary situation, and if they manage to have someone to go 6 next time out and hold them at somewhere where they can catch them, it might be over for Toronto.
I don't know how the guy to my right as a manager or to my left as a player would deal with a teammate laughing about anything. Down 3-1. Share your favorite baseball moments on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag #PlayBall. For the chance to be seen by millions of fans, MLB will retweet and regram some of the best moments on the official MLB social channels. We've got more on this channel. MLB on TBS coverage continues next.
This is a true story about the wills of men and the pursuit of a goal to end their city's great drought. This is their journey. This is the quest on TNT.
Hey, LeBron, Kevin, Kyrie. Man, we can't get to the top of the East on a camel. It's hot out here. Where the air conditioning at?
I've won over $29,000 on FanDuel. Nothing special about me. The difference is that I played and they didn't.
He played 1 week fantasy football on FanDuel, where over 1.2 million people have won money.
If you think it can't be you, it can be you.
Choose a 1-week league, pick your team, and win. Leagues start from $1 and there's no season-long commitment.
Every week I can beat my buddies on FanDuel. Every single week I can win money on FanDuel.
Try FanDuel today. We'll match your first deposit up to $200. Go to FanDuel.com and enter promo code BACKED.
This is the sound of a car engine. Hidden within is damaging surface wear, up to 75% of which happens during warm-up. But new Castrol GTX Magnatec has intelligent molecules that cling, providing an extra layer of protection from the start. New Castrol GTX Magnatec, instant protection from the moment you start.
HGTV's Tarek and Christina risk it all on Flip or Flop.
The toughest thing about running your own business is trying not to make mistakes.
A little mistake could cost a lot of money.
Wow.
The houses are completely disgusting when we first walk in.
Oh my God, those are dead rats.
There really always is a problem.
Oh man, I got a fire rate.
But at the same time, it's super rewarding.
Right when you walk in the door, it feels like $1 million house.
Flip or Flop, Thursday night at 9, with new episodes in December, only on HGTV.
We're looking for something a little less.
Maybe a little less expensive.
Absolutely.
Please.
We'll check out Yelp.
We did a great body shop. My wife just hit a deer.
He just froze.
It's cool. We know just the place.
I guess I need golf lessons?
Yes, you do.
That looks rad.
Whatever you need, whenever you need it. Check Yelp first. We know just the place.
We continue our MLB on TBS postseason show. The streets are being swept. Will the Cubs? Still 24 hours to find that out. They're hoping to stay in the series. The streets, though, at least we know those will be cleaned. Let's try and clean your mind, Gary Sheffield, because we don't want you to think about this. 2004, the only time a team in history in baseball has come back down 0-3. Ortiz with a walk-off. Ortiz with a walk-off. The bloody sock from Curt Schilling.
The sock wasn't bloody.
And then
Johnny Damon.
And then the grand slam off Javier Vasquez. Embry with the big moment.
Oh, my boy Embry.
That was all she wrote on the comeback. Will it happen here is the question. Here's the pitching matchup. Steven Matz will go against Jason Hamill. No Lester on short rest will be available in the pen. We'll find out as we hear from Joe Madden getting closer to our pregame tomorrow. I'm sure, as we like to say, all hands will be on deck. But let's talk about this situation, guys, because, Pedro, I got to start with you. Just from covering it, you know, you sit there and you think to yourself, how is it possible a team could come back? I remember being at first base when your boy won 5, Kevin Millar, drinking a water bottle, having fun with the media, saying, don't let us win tonight, because tomorrow we got Pedro and then we got Schilling and anything can happen in Game 7, and I'll never forget that. Was that truly the belief of everybody in that room, and does that need to be the belief tomorrow?
Well, I pretty much. They're going to have to do the same thing. And all we wanted was to build a little bit of momentum going to our side. Catch a little break. Somewhere, somehow, catch a break. And we had a meeting, players meeting only, that same day. And we just said, hey, guys, let's see if we can pull off a win at least to not embarrass ourselves in front of the Yankees. And especially after such a beat up that they got us the night before. And we went out there just determined to try to get a win, and we never gave up until the last out was supposed to be made, and that's how it happened.
But how did Chef feel about it?
Oh, you really want me to talk about this?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to.
But luckily for you, you're not a hitting coach yet.
But, you know, like Pedro said, you know, they had a better pitching staff than we did.
Gotcha.
We felt like we had the best hitters, but we knew they had Pedro and Schilling. We knew that. We didn't go in relaxed to the point where we were just so confident that these guys couldn't come back. We knew that we had to win that game because they had Schilling and Pedro to come back. So now they can even the series up, and then what happens in Game 7, anything can happen. But if you look at it, we was winning 5 straight games going into the 8th inning, and we got one of the greatest closers of all time. And we couldn't finish the deal. So kudos to those guys. Sometimes it's your time. And if the Cubs ever get in this situation, they're going to have to start with the game tomorrow and win that one, and then they can build their way up.
Let's talk about the foot on the throat mentality, right? Let's go ahead and close it out. 2 years ago, you're in a similar situation, shorter series, but same kind of a scenario. Is there too much made by media types or fans about, oh, well, they didn't have what it takes to go ahead and close it out? Is it just baseball? How do you look back at that situation against the Giants?
Something like we lost a tough game, a tough one-run game, you know, late in the game. And that was their break. And when you're in that situation, you have to construe anything as a break. A walk, an error, anything.
Stolen base,
lightning in the air, like, whoa, that's a sign. You know what I mean? You're looking for anything to construe it as a break. And then once that happens, then the next day, okay, boys, we can get back to even. Boom, next day, okay, we're here. And that was tough. You know, when I was in Cincinnati, when we were up 2-0 on the Giants, and they came back and beat us 3 in our ballpark.
You know, one of the things that we've talked about a lot on this set is guys who do more than just on the field. And I know Curtis Granderson, a guy we probably should talk more about, because in this city, this is somebody who's from here and continues to give back, Chef, and that's a story behind certainly the scenes that should be brought out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the media, they always want to put things out there in a negative light, but I want to honor this guy because this is something for little kids can look at and say, this is a guy that I want to be looked up. I want to look up to this guy. Curtis Granderson went out for his alma mater and went out and gave $5 million to the University of Illinois at Chicago. And I know his parents. His parents are educators. They taught this man how to be a stand-up guy, and by giving money, giving it back, and putting in the time, because he's really an ambassador to baseball. He goes all over the country, and he visits kids
all over the world.
All over the world. And he does this on his off season. This man here needs to be honored, and I just want to just say, you're being honored today, thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah,
and
amen.
And from us,
amen.
All the respect in the world to you, Grandy man. Keep on doing
That's
that.
right.
We love you, we respect you, and I hope that many of us can learn from your example.
Absolutely.
And he puts his money where his mouth is.
There you go.
And never ask for the credit.
Never ever
And
ask for the
credit.
And he's always positive.
Yes.
Correct. You'd have never known.
And a pretty cool baseball player, too. He's pretty good, too.
All right, now I don't know if he's getting the award necessarily here for tonight. You say it should be Daniel Murphy again. Will he get the honors? Who's your daddy? You can continue the voting on Twitter. We continue our show. We'll hear from the Cubs, find out where our guys vote, give away the awards, and get you ready for game number 4.
What is normal? Our normal is 200 miles per hour. It's 500 degrees. It's protection for 15,000 miles. And 40 below. Our normal is anything but. Mobile One, energy lives here.
Can a business have a mind, a subconscious, a knack for predicting the future? Reflexes faster than the speed of thought? Can a business have a spirit? Can a business have a soul? Can a business be alive?
When you booked this trip, you didn't know we had over 11,000 local activities listed on our app, or that you could book them right from your phone. A few weeks ago, you still didn't know if you were going to go. Now the only thing you don't know is why it took you so long to come here. Expedia, technology that connects you to the people and places that matter.
1, 2, 3. Librarians.
The Librarians are back.
Yeah.
Thanks for the confidence. November 1st at 8 on TNT.
What exactly have I found?
The greatest secret in the history of our country.
John Case at your service, Madam Vice President.
Impressive.
It is time for the play of the night presented by our friends at Lincoln Motor Company. And tonight, clearly the difference right here on a strikeout. Except this not in favor of the Cubbies. It's the Mets. It gets away from Miguel Montero, who blocked a number of pitches in the same AB. And coming home to score is Cespedes. The big play setting that up. The steal of third. The baseball putting them in position on the wild pitch to go home. And that's the way she wrote on the play of the night to get us here. 3-0 lead in the series. How about Game 4? Our coverage begins 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow with the pregame show presented by Chrysler, and then EJ and Company with the call of Mets and Cubs. You saw the play of the night. Let's find out how Miggy Montero feels behind the plate afterwards.
Hard to just block the previous pitch, I think.
Yeah, I blocked like 3 before that.
Right. And what made that?
I mean, it was a tough one. I mean, it's a tough one. I went down to block it. It just unfortunately kind of. I didn't. So it really hurts. I blocked pitches like that many times, and I didn't block that one, so it really hurt because he was, it was strike 3. So, but you know what? It happens. It's part of the game. I mean, we can't block every ball. I wish we could, but we can't. So, nothing I can do. I can't change that.
A couple of solo home runs, but that's kind of been your offense in this series. How frustrating has it been not to get a rally going at some point?
It is frustrating, but you can only control what you can control. So, it is a little frustrating, but things can turn around just like that. So we just got to keep coming to the ballpark with our same attitudes, with the same mindset, same approach, and keep grinding it out.
Well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. The Cubs will look for more homers tomorrow. We will look for drier places to sit. The Cubs, they move on to Game 4. We, when we come back, move on to the awards presentation. Who's your daddy? We'll find out next on TBS.
Tonight, Conan reveals lucky guest number 10,267.
Gabrielle Union!
Conan's all new tonight after MLB postseason coverage on TBS.
This is the sound of a car engine. Hidden within is damaging surface wear, up to 75% of which happens during warm-up. But new Castrol GTX Magnatec has intelligent molecules that cling, providing an extra layer of protection from the start. New Castrol GTX Magnatec, instant protection from the moment you start.
A Belvedere martini.
Of course.
Shaken, not stirred. Excellent choice, Mr. Bond.
It's the final countdown. The final countdown.
If you're the band Europe, you love a final countdown. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Hey, you know what time it is? Postseason time. That means time to get your favorite team's gear at MLB.com shop. Official jerseys, hats, t-shirts, we got them. Official bats and balls, check. Real deal postseason memorabilia, you know it. What do you want? Stuff for him, stuff for her, stuff for the kids. We got it. Get your piece of the postseason right here at MLB.com shop and get shopping.
The Postseason Show, live from Chicago on TBS, is brought to you by the Lincoln Motor Company.
All right, welcome back to our MLB on TBS coverage of the postseason. It is time now for the ceremony of the awards. While the sirens go in the background, we sit there and we sit. Hopefully not for you after all the wine you've been handing underage kids. Go ahead, Dustin.
That's the police looking for Dustin. Handing out wine to underage
Man,
kids.
it's cold, man. Well, they're going to look for me tomorrow, too, because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving it to Jacob DeGrom. Okay, but I hope he's 21?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, they're
See,
coming
they're
for
looking
you.
for Dusty.
They're coming for you, Dusty.
Okay, man.
I'm going to save your belt because I'm going to say DeGrom is not underage.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to say that.
Say that. You going to be my attorney?
I'll be your attorney because he was my daddy the other day.
They're family. He's representing them.
I got you. Thank you, my brother.
Do you want to give him, tell us why specifically?
Well, hey, man, this guy, 7 innings, he struggled early. Looked like they were going to get to him, but this guy fought his way through. got deep into the ball game and found all his pitches. And this guy is going to be a star if he's not a star already.
All right, Chef, let's get to the cigars as we've got all 30 of them. Who's getting it?
Well, I was going to give it to him last time, but Daniel Murphy been playing out of his mind. So I had to give it to Daniel Murphy. But my guy is David Wright. Like I said on my notes, David Wright is he's showing signs of breaking out. And tonight he did. After he got that first hit in the first inning, I knew this guy was going to have a big game. So David Wright, you deserve it. Welcome back to being yourself. Enjoy your cigar, buddy.
And he's getting hot at the right time.
He's getting hot at the right time.
So, it's a family show, but we've got wine. We've got cigars.
Yes,
you know what's missing?
Cigars.
You know what's missing?
What?
Latin music.
Oh, yeah. We hear it every day.
Hit it. Go ahead, Pedro.
Hey, salsa, man. See, they know. I think they have an idea where I'm going now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I'm going straight over.
Hold on, don't get too excited. Keep dancing. Let's find out who's your dad.
Hey, I'm going straight over to the...
Call the Yankees my daddy.
All right, go ahead.
Let me see.
I'm going straight to the beach. I guarantee you that.
Oh, where I was today?
Yeah, not to the one you were today.
In Chicago?
To the warmer ones.
Oh. In Chicago?
The ones down south.
Oh, down south.
Because the boy I'm going to give it to, I think, lives right around my corner. In the Miami area. Es la potencia. Orgullo cubano. Miquimbing de Miami.
Bing, 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 bing.
Miquimbing. Miquimbing de Miami. La potencia gets to be my daddy today.
All right.
And we're going to go hang out in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
You going to call him Papa?
That's a baseball player. That's a baseball player.
Yeah, he's
a real baseball player.
He's a complete package. He was
sure
all over. And you know what? He carried the Mets to the postseason, and now he's ready to carry the Mets to the World Series.
Is he ready to carry you?
Oh, yeah, he is. He is. There you go.
Oh, that's his. He got gorilla arms.
Hey, man. Respect my daddy, man.
Hey, I've never
Respect my daddy.
Hey, I've never seen a baby with a little goatee like that.
Hey.
But he still got the 32 teeth.
I'm gonna bite your fingers if you keep talking about my daddy, man. Leave him alone.
I just want to know. See now.
Don't forget the wristband.
That's my grandpa now. That's my grandpa.
You have to put the pictures together. Go back to the first. Go back to the first picture.
Let me see.
If you go to the first photo, what I was wondering was, what is Pedro looking at in the first picture? So if you go back to the Cespedes picture with Pedro, look at that. Now show the second picture because you notice what he saw.
I'm seeing grandpa in a speedo walking by the beach, and now
Let me see those European shorts.
Oh man, it's speedos.
Thank you.
Oh, Game 4 coming up tomorrow. We'll see you at 7:30 Eastern Time from Wrigley Field for all these good rowdy friends.
I'm gonna bite your finger, man.
Coming to you from Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, it's Conan. Tonight's star being Mary Jane Gabrielle Union. And musical guest Marion Hill. Featuring Jimmy Bovino and the Basic Cable Band. I'm Andy Richter.